If you're new to the game of football, only a few big name teams come to mind. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. But it wasn't too long ago that another team was dominating European football. In fact, this team is still statistically the most successful European team based on domestic achievement. 54 league titles, 60 combined cup wins, achieving the treble 7 times. If you are new to the beautiful game, you perhaps wouldn't know that there are 2 historic clubs sat in Glasgow, Scotland. The mighty Celtic, who are to this day still making Champions League on a regular basis, destroying all competition in Scotland. Rangers FC, the aforementioned most successful team in European history who no longer sit in the Scottish top flight. What happened to this club, you may ask? Well, it's simple. The club fell in hard times due to lack of financial support and got instantly pushed down to the Scottish 4th tier. However, they have since been promoted 2 seasons in a row and could come back to the top flight via the playoffs this season. Things still aren't the same between the old firm. Celtic continue to dominate Scotland while Rangers are just vying to come back to the top. Still, some don't think it will be long before Rangers and Celtic are once again dominating all other competition in Scotland. So one may ask, what's the point? If they're so dominant, why don't they move on to a bigger challenge? Well, my friends, you wouldn't be the first to think that. Over the years, many believe these 2 famous Glasgow clubs should test their trade in England, which is considered the most competitive league in all of Europe. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally putting these 2 teams where they belong. Finally in a spot where they can test their trade and finally prove themselves to the world. The journey starts today. The journey starts from the bottom, all the way from League 2, all the way to the Premier League. Can Celtic and Rangers once again prove to the world that they are more than what they think they are? It's time to begin Rangers to Glory. What's up, guys? TRayALLDay here, and welcome to a brand new series on my channel called Rangers to Glory. Basically, what it is, if you couldn't tell from that little intro I just showed you guys, we have both Rangers and Celtic placed in League 2 in England, and we're going to try to get them promoted all the way to the Premier League and hopefully win Champions League one day, but that is obviously way down the line. We're still in July 2014 of the very first season, so we got to focus our sights on right here, right now, on some key signings and some key players that will help us through the first season in League 2, and that's where you guys are going to come in. You guys are going to help me with some signings. There'll be some straw polls in the description below of various positions where I want you guys to vote on. I came up with the shortlist myself, and then you guys are going to vote on the final product on who I should sign based on those players. If you guys have any other suggestions that aren't in the straw poll, leave them down in the comment section, and if someone else has the same suggestion as you, thumbs up that comment, and I'll be sure to add it on to the straw poll voting and take that into account. But anyway, on to the actual career mode itself. Why did I choose Rangers over Celtic? It's simple, really. There's a few reasons. One would be because I like their kit colors, red and blue. Obviously, you can tell from my channel art, red and blue, same thing. I really do like that color scheme. It's very good and very appealing to myself. Second, Rangers, my ultimate team name is TRayALLDay. There you go. Third reason is because they have a lot of Americans that used to play on their team, such as Alejandro Bedoya, Maurice Edu, Carlos Bocanegra, DeMarcus Beasley. Edu actually scored a winner in the Old Firm derby in the 90th minute, I think. Go look that up on YouTube. It's pretty cool to see. And yeah, I don't think Celtic have had any Americans, whereas Rangers have. And then the final reason is probably the most important reason of them all. It is a much bigger challenge. We're starting in League 2 with Rangers, who are 2.5-star rated, whereas Celtic are 3.5-star rated, and we want to be able to build up our team as best as we can instead of already, giving a good team that is basically guaranteed promotion in the very first season, whereas Rangers are on par with a lot of the teams in this league, so we're gonna have to work to get promoted in our very first season. So next up, you guys may be asking, why are we starting in League 2? Well, that's also very simple. If you think about it, if Rangers and Celtic were to move to England one day, they would have to start from the very bottom unless the divisions in the leagues decided to expand and allow more teams to come in. For example, if the championship went from however many teams they have to 2 more teams, then Rangers and Celtic could join them with no problems at all. But as of right now, we're obviously in FIFA. We can't expand the divisions. We have to relegate certain teams, and no team voluntarily is going to say, hey, I want to be relegated, move me down a division just so a Scottish team can come into England and play in our spot in that league. That would not happen. Like, for example, you see Southend United right here in the table. They would not voluntarily relegate themselves to the Vanarama Conference just so Rangers can come in to their spot spot in League 2. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. I'm sure most of you guys understood that, but if not, leave a question down in the comment section. I'll be sure to explain it in more detail. But anyway, on to the actual transfer targets. This is all this video is going to be. I'm not going to go over any other stuff. You guys can already see that stuff right here, but for now, I'm not going to go over any of that stuff. I want to keep this video as short as possible, and you guys will have to let me know who I should sign down below in the description in those straw polls. That would be greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead and get started in the shortlist. A lot of these players I came up with myself. A few of you guys recommended certain players on Twitter, so let's get into this. So first off, goalkeepers: Ethan Horvath, Benjamin Siegrist, Andre Onana, Anton Mitriyushkin, and Alex Moret. One of you guys suggested him on Twitter. I know Moret. It's just he's kind of signed a lot in Road to Glory series, so I wanted to keep it a bit more unique with Mitriyushkin, Onana, Siegrist, and Horvath, and I think they could all be very, very good signing. And let's move on. So those will be the players. They'll have their all have a separate straw poll in the description below, as I said. So these are the 5 goalkeepers you guys have to choose from down below. Next up, we have fullbacks. Now we have Liam Palmer and Jack Grimmer right here, who are the only right backs that I'll have on my shortlist. We really do need a right back, so out of these two, Liam Palmer and Jack Grimmer, I'd probably rather have Jack Grimmer just because he is Scottish. Actually, they're both Scottish. What am I talking about? But he would be easier to get a hold of as he is lesser rated. And then our other fullbacks, as we move down here, we have Matt Target from Southampton, Brian Vahar from the Chilean League, Jordan Lukaku, everyone knows who he is, Trippy Makonda. Now, he's an interesting one because he doesn't have the greatest of potentials, but he can play various positions, which intrigues me to get him even more. Left back, left mid, and center mid, I believe. So he could be a very good player and has a real face in game. As you guys know, I do love players that have real faces. And then as well, we have DeSavio Payne, who can play left back and right back and is American. So that is obviously like the perfect combination for me. You guys know that I love my American players and I love versatile players. So there you go, left back, right back, and is American. Perfect option. He'll be the player I will be voting for personally in that straw poll. We also have Joe Bryan, who's probably my my least favorite out of all these players we have to choose from, but can play left wing back and left mid. And then our final player in that position that you guys will be seeing in the straw poll is Jeffrey Schlupp. Our next straw poll is for the center backs. As you can see, John Sutari is probably my first choice signing for a center back, as he is Scottish and is a very good up-and-comer. Eric Palmer-Brown, Tyus Browning, who you can get for free in career mode, Baptista Lowe, Romaric Nkuma, Shane O'Neill, and Ventura Alvarado, as well as Tyler Blackett. At CDM/center mid, we have Bryce Ntambwe, who was very, very good in FIFA 13, and I would definitely try to sign him up in this career mode. As well, next up, we have Ben Swanson, probably the highest rated potential player in career mode that is American. That's pretty interesting. Emerson Heineman, who I really want to play with again because he left way too early in our Fulham save. Melker Hallberg, Eric Aguirre, who was recommended to me by Chalupawana. I really recommend you guys go and check out his channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description below as well, at the very top of the description. Go and check him out. Does very awesome content. Football Manager, PES, career mode, and also doing some growth tests right now with various players such as Tommy Thompson, Bradford Jameson IV, and testing their growth in career mode. I really recommend you guys go and check him out. He comments on my videos all the time. You guys probably know who he is by now, but he recommended this player to me, Eric Aguirre, and I'm probably going to try to inquire about him, see how much he's worth. Joe Rawls as well, Russell Tabert, and those are all the center mids in that category. Next up, we have center attacking mid, and you're looking at Romain Gall. He's listed as a right mid, but for me, I would personally play him at center attacking mid, or center forward, that is, and he can play right mid, left mid as well. So he is a very good player, and to me is one of the better up-and-coming American players. Unfortunately, didn't make the US Under-20 roster for the World Cup just because of his game time for the Columbus Crew, but he was the leading scorer in qualifications for the Under-20, so he's a very good player, hence why I'm looking at him more as a center forward / center attacking mid, because he was the top scorer for that team. But I really do want to sign him. He's has a French / American background, which, as you guys know, that's kind of my background, except he's more French than I am probably. But yeah, he is our first center attacking mid. Yanis Tafer, former Lyon player, does have a real life face. I believe has 4-star skills, no, only 2-star, but does have a real life face. Can play right mid, cam, and striker. He is another player that is going to be playing cam for me if we do decide to sign him. And then as well, we also have Josh Onoma, who looks like the English Pogba, Lyndon Gooch, who you can get for free, Tim Dearson, Dwayne Holmes, Daniel Johnson, Killian Hazard, Tommy Thompson, and Adam Armstrong. Next up for wingers, we have Jeffrey Monacana, who is a former Brighton player. I believe he signed permanently for Carlisle United, and I was really looking forward to using him next year in FIFA 16 for my Brighton career mode, but unfortunately, as I said, he's moved to Carlisle United, so I thought I might as well sign him for my lower league career mode that we're doing right now, and does have some very nice sprint speed and acceleration, and also has 4-star skills. And then moving down, we also have the likes of Djibouli Erayibi, Joseph Claude Zhao. Everyone knows how good he is based on my channel. I've done my player with him. I've also used him in my Fulham career mode, and he's a very good player. Last year, I believe I got him up to an 85 rated player in a career mode that I did off camera, and so I want to try to do that again in this series. He'll probably be a player I go for without a doubt, regardless of what the straw poll says, but he'll be in there for sure. And then as well, we also have Paul Areola right here, right winger, who plays for Tijuana, that is American. And then we also have Sheyi Ojo, or Sheyi Oho, who plays for Liverpool technically, but in this game it just says he plays for Wigan, so we can get him in the first transfer window. And last but not least, we're moving on to the strikers, everyone's favorite player to sign in career mode. They're my favorite players to sign, at least. I love having my own personal striker that I signed myself rather than the striker that was already at the club. So we have Jordan Morris, who is a free agent. He's technically playing for Stanford University in America right now, but he is a free agent technically, and we could bring him in. Although he said personally that he would not come over. He'd rather stay home than go overseas, but who knows? Maybe an American manager could convince him to come over, and yeah, we can get him for free. So there you go. We also have Bradford Jameson IV, as I previously mentioned. Chalupawana did a growth test on him. He is a very, very good player. I want to sign him up right away. I really do think I'll be signing him regardless of the straw poll as well, but you guys vote for him. Please vote for him. We got Melvin Lorenzen, who is a pacey MFer from Werder Bremen. We got Marcus Thuram, who is the son of Lilian Thuram, who I believe has the most caps all time for the French national team. We have James Alabi, Dominic Polian, Moussa Dembele, who I really do want to use again. I started the Fulham series for Emerson Hyman and Moussa Dembele, and I ended up not using either of them very often, so I want to try to use him in this Road to Glory save. Juninho Bakuna, and yeah, that's it. There you go. Those are all our transfer targets for the very first episode of this Rangers career mode. If you guys did enjoy, let's see if you can hit over 60 likes, and I'll be sure to get another episode of this out tomorrow. 60 likes, and you'll get another episode. Be sure to vote in the straw polls down below as well. And other than that, I've been TRayALLDay, or Tyler, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Let me get you high for the moment, come and let me get you high for the moment. What I'm smoking, I'm up. Get you high for the moment, come and let me get you high for the moment. Roll up, girl. We on the cloud, we on the cloud.